Last Saturday, my family and I went to the Black Lives Matter protest on Church Green. Although it was physically very difficult to hear most of the speakers, it was humbling to hear one teenage girl speak of her experiences of racism at school. As a white person, it was also uncomfortable, but that discomfort is important if we wish things to change, and is as nothing compared with the shame and hurt that the girl speaking, and so many like her, have experienced so early on in their young lives. Before living in Witney, we lived as a family in Peckham, in a church community that was comprised predominantly of Christians who were black and minority ethnic. We found that experience deeply humbling too, as we heard stories from parishioners whose forebears had been sold into slavery, and we heard more recent stories of racism too, whether it was a gentleman who'd gone to a church in the 1960s, only to find that no one would even sit on the same pew as him. Unsurprisingly, he never went to church again, or whether it was one of the mothers in our congregation fighting for black and minority ethnic boys not to be so targeted by the police. Being in Peckham also made us more aware of the complexity of racism, and that it comes in many forms, whether it's white on white, black on black, white on black. But surely what lies at the root of all racism is the innate suspicion of those who are different from us, and the hatred that so easily grows from that. As I watched and listened to the teenage speaker on Saturday, speaking about the racism she had experienced at school, I thought again how much it matters what we teach our children. If we teach them to be suspicious and fearful of those who are different, that is what they will become, and that is what they will pass on to their own children. The cycle of hatred will never end. There is a Native American Indian story of an elder who was teaching his grandchild about the battle that goes on inside people. He said, "The battle is between two wolves inside each of us. One wolf is fearful, vengeful, fierce, resentful, and deceitful. The other wolf is compassionate, loving, generous, truthful, and peaceful." The grandchild thought about this and then asked, "Which wolf wins?" The grandfather replied, "Whichever one you feed." We are only given one life, but that life has immense potential to affect others for good or evil. If the cycle of hatred is to end, we each need to own the place of suspicion of the other within ourselves, asking for forgiveness and working towards reconciliation. At the same time, we must make the conscious decision to feed the compassionate, loving, generous, truthful, and peaceful place within us, knowing that in Christ we are sisters and brothers, whether we share the same skin colour or not.